Assalamualaikum students. Today we will discuss mechanism of breathing. Breathing is a process in which fresh air containing more oxygen is pumped into the lungs and air with more carbon dioxide that is pumped out of the lungs. Students, uh, in this process, parts which are involved, they are diaphragm, abdominal muscles and intercostal muscles. Diaphragm is a sheet of skeletal muscles present under the lungs, which separates abdominal cavity from the thoracic cavity. Then abdominal muscles, belly muscles, they are there, and intercostal muscles are the muscles which are present between the ribs. There are two sets of intercostal muscles: external intercostal muscles and internal intercostal muscles. Student, during a process of breathing mechanism that is completed in two phases. First is called as inspiration and the other one is called as what? Expiration. Student, the lungs, they themselves neither draw in air nor push it out. These are actually diaphragm, abdominal muscles and intercostal muscles which bring about expansion and contraction of the lungs. Student, the diaphragm, that means partition. During inspiration, what happens? During inspiration, this diaphragm, it contracts and it goes in downward position, while rib that moves in forward direction, or it raises in upward direction just because of the contraction of external intercostal muscles, while internal intercostal muscles, they remain relaxed during this position or during this time during inspiration. Inspiration means taking air inside, and expiration means taking out air from the body or from the lungs, which is rich in carbon dioxide. Now, what happens during inspiration? During inspiration, muscles of the diaphragm, they contract, and external intercostal muscles, they also contract, while internal intercostal muscles, they relax. As a result, ribs, they move in forward and upward direction, and volume of the thoracic cavity, that increases. And due to this pressure inside the lungs, that decreases, and air from the outside, it moves inside. While in case of expiration, what happens? This diaphragm, the muscles of the diaphragm, they get relaxed and they again become dome like in shape, and muscles which are present between the ribs, which are external intercostal muscles, they relax, and internal intercostal muscles, they contract. As a result, ribs and sternum, they return to their original position, and volume of the thoracic cavity, that decreases. As a result, air that moves outside, or air that is expelled from the lungs. So these two events, they occur during what? During breathing mechanism. Keep this thing in your mind, that during inspiration, external intercostal muscles, they contract, while internal intercostal muscles, they relax. While in case of expiration, external intercostal muscles, they relax, and internal intercostal muscles, they contract. And now, student, I will discuss differences between inspiration and expiration. So what are the main differences between the two processes? Student, inspiration, that is an active process, while expiration, that is a passive process. During inspiration, as already I discussed, that a contraction of external intercostal muscles it occurs, and internal intercostal muscles they remain relaxed, while during expiration, relaxation of external intercostal muscles it occur, and while in contraction of internal intercostal muscles that occur. In this case, rib cage it moves in forward and outward position, and here in this case rib cage it moves downward and inward in direction. In this case, diaphragm it contracts and it becomes less dome like or less flattened, while in this case it becomes diaphragm it gets relaxed and it again arches itself and or it becomes more dome like in shape. Student, in this case thoracic cavity that increases, while in this case thoracic cavity that decreases in its volume. In case of inspiration, air pressure in the lungs is less than atmospheric pressure, and in this case air pressure in the lungs is greater as compared to the atmospheric pressure. And then as a result of inspiration, air it enters into the lungs, or intake of air into the lungs it occurs, while in this case expulsion of air from the lungs it occurs. So this is the main difference between inspiration and expiration, which are two phases of what breathing mechanism. That's all for today. Thank you, student.